Welcome to TMZ Live. Gavin Newsom, if I can quote The Gambler with Kenny Rogers, should know when to hold him and know when to fold him, because he had a take on what Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu did in achieving peace in the Middle East, and I think it went haywire.
Yeah, this one, you know that Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, has been on a social media rampage, just basically trying to emulate the things that Donald Trump does on social media, and it has been effective. It has gotten him a lot of attention.
Absolutely.
He has made the point that he is really mocking the president.
Can I just say, not only attention, I think it's made him the front runner in 2028.
Exactly. But this was his take on what went down in the Middle East yesterday. Over a photo of Trump and Netanyahu shaking hands, he placed the Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, it's like it's tone deaf.
It just seems like this isn't the one. Like, now, that's your gut reaction when you see it, right? Because that's going up at the same time that we're seeing all these incredible images from the Middle East of families being reunited, people who are cheering for the end of this war, which we all hope remains the end of this war.
And the fact
but for now it is.
And the fact that there are people alive today who would have been killed yesterday were it not for the peace.
Correct.
And
so you're seeing those images, and then at the same time, his social media team is posting that.
Gavin Newsom has been pointing out a lot of things that the Trump administration is doing, and he's getting a lot of support for it. A lot of people are opposing what ICE is doing, and there are other issues as well. But if you criticize everything, when it really counts to criticize, your voice gets diminished because you sound like you're just going to do that every time, no matter what the issue is. And I think that's a problem here.
And I think maybe that's the best version of what he was trying to accomplish. It was to point out that that is exactly, in a lot of people's eyes,
that's not
what Trump does on his social media.
Yeah.
But I think that's far too nuanced of a point to make on a day like yesterday.
Yeah, I think the best people here are like Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, who are no fans of Donald Trump, but they gave him credit. They didn't refuse to say his name in lauding the peace deal. And I think that's to their benefit. When there's an objective good that happens and everyone sees it, just call it out. I mean, if nothing else, maintain your credibility, and then when you knock him, it holds some weight.
That's what I said.
Right? Yeah. And here, I think with Newsom, he's lost the plot. It's not about getting likes or retweets online.
Now,
again, this is an objective good. If nothing else, 20 people who were taken for 2+ years, they're home with their families, and we've got the best chance for peace in the Middle East than we've had in years. That's a good thing, no matter who the president is.
So what I'm saying is, to your point about, and I agree with you, that if you, and you said the same thing, that if you are always critical of the other side and you can't just point out when something's good, you do lose credibility. And I think maybe that was Newsom's point, is that that's exactly what Trump does, right?
But that's not telegraphed.
Everything that happens with the Democrats, he completely trashes, blames the Democrats for things that they don't have anything to do with, but he will always lay it at their feet. And so maybe that's what Newsom's trying to do.
Those dots don't connect. When you look at Dumb and Dumber and what you're saying, those two things don't connect. It's that.
No, of course it doesn't make sense. And I think, have you not at times looked at things that Donald Trump has posted and gone like, what is he even talking about?
Yeah, but you can't play Clockwork Orange with this. I mean, it's not this bizarre kind of script. I mean, what Newsom has done really effectively, and for those of you who aren't in California, we have a proposition coming up which would create 5 new Democrat congressional seats, which will counterbalance what happened in Texas. And he has these ads that are really effective, where you see Donald Trump with just the back of his head, where he's losing it because this Prop 50 is passing. That's really effective. It's a targeted ad. It means something. To call Netanyahu and Trump achieving this peace treaty Dumb and Dumber, you don't connect to it. It just doesn't work.
Nakia, Los Angeles. I live in Los Angeles. So I actually do love this. I do feel like with someone like Donald Trump, you have to take a page out of his book and you have to troll him. That's the only language he seems to understand. And it's unfortunate that you do have someone in the White House who is the ultimate troll. And I do hope going forward that more Democrats kind of take a page out of Gavin's book and become a little bit more petty, because that's the only language Donald seems to understand. And I do hate that Democrats seem to be more criticized, especially when this is Donald Trump's whole rollout is being petty. So to quote the great Michelle Obama, I know she says when they go low, we go high. But in this case, when they go low, you have to go to hell.
You may go, okay, and you may go to hell, but I have a question for you.
Yes.
What do you think about Donald Trump getting credit for achieving peace? What do you think about that?
I think it's a good thing that he's actually getting credit. He's not my favorite person, but my thing is, instead of focusing on the credit that he's getting, he's focusing on other things. So it's like one of those things where you have to reel him in and kind of troll him a little bit. I think this is also something that Joe Biden did in his administration. They did this last year. So I think Donald Trump just wants the credit, and that's all he wants the media to talk about. But it's like, bro, you can't be the ultimate troll and then get upset when people call you out for that.
I guess the problem is if you're targeting, like, if you're trying to speak Donald Trump's language and that means you're going after him. But he doesn't vote, or he's not gonna be the person you're running against, probably. And also, you want to get the voters, not Donald Trump, right?
Well, yeah, here's the problem with it. Donald Trump didn't even respond, and that's the unkindest cut of all to Gavin Newsom.
Well, Donald Trump has other things he's focused on.
I got it, but Newsom didn't get the reaction. His neck.
His neck in the Time magazine photo. So no one is going to question Kylie Jenner's business acumen, right?
I mean, just going to use those words.
Really? Business acumen?
I was literally going to say business acumen.
Ugh, boy, I hate when that happens. Oof. Should not be. Anyway, look, she's a tremendous success with her lip kits.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah.
But she's now not staying in her lane. She's got a new venture.
I think this has something to do with her makeup still, but she has put out a song. It's called Fourth Strike. And yes, the voice you are about to hear is Kylie's.
One strike, two strike, I just wanna tell you I'm sorry. Touch me, baby, tell me I'm your baby. Write your name all over my body. Cross the line.
Well, I guess I will say we're told it's Kylie's. There's nothing there in that video that confirms it's her, but she was in the studio. I guess it sounds like her.
Yes.
Just so much auto-tune on top of it.
I don't think it's terrible.
It's not, and the beat's really good. She did it with Taro Jr. So like she only has like a little like small portion, but she's using her alter ego name King Kylie, and that's why she's also doing it, because the lip kit all came back, the blue hair and everything. It's all about that. But it's just.
But how do you sell more lip whatever?
Because you're promoting King Kylie.
Yes.
The song is not by Kylie Jenner. The song's by King Kylie.
Yes.
No, I understand.
Come on, man.
But
And
how are you selling more lip gloss?
I guarantee when the music video drops, she's gonna be like up close, because it's very sultry. It's a very like sexual song and like whispery, so it's gonna be a lot of like lip shots, I bet.
So she
and then
does
you're gonna
the
want to
verse.
do
Is she
it.
getting
So she
into
whispers
entertainment
through the
because
verse.
Kim's in entertainment?
No, I think she just wants to do it. She's been in entertainment her entire life.
Remember who her manager is.
Chris, yes.
Yeah, and I'm sure Chris said to Liz, I'm sure Chris said, hey, this worked. Remember, Kim put out a song.
Yeah, it was a good song too.
It was
a banger.
It was a song. That is true.
And now Kim's about to star in a Ryan Murphy show.
Yes. Are you saying this because Kylie's going to be in Charlie XCX movie, and now she's also doing a music video?
I'm saying that there is a game plan that Kris Jenner has.
But don't you think she's also just bored of doing makeup, so wants to try new things?
Yes.
Yeah, she just wants to diversify. You don't stay in one lane. It's good that she's branching out.
No, I'm actually impressed by this, because you stay in the same lane and it just gets boring.
Boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not horrible.
It's not a bad song.
Hold on. Whoa.
It's got a Charlie.
The beats are really good.
XCX vibe.
You gotta give the producer their due. It's a good beat. It has like good sound to it. Is she the best singer? No, but you don't need to be anymore.
I am sorry for bringing up an old song, but I think this will resonate with you.
Okay.
How did the first Donna Summer song start?
Oh boy.
It wasn't really singing. It was ooh, love to love you.
Okay, that wasn't the first Donna Summer song.
It was the first song.
No.
Can you
yes,
keep
it was.
singing
No,
it?
it wasn't.
It was the first song.
No, we don't want him to sing
No, it
anymore.
was the first song.
And don't you dare! That is, you have just.
I love
besmirched the memory
I
of
have
Donna
not
Summer. You
besmirched.
compared Donna Summer's voice to what we just
I'm
heard on that
saying
song.
that
That's so rude
Get
to
out of here.
Kylie
I'm done.
Jenner.
I'm not doing it
The
anymore. I'm
first-
out. That's it. You're
Okay.
going to apologize?
Go.
Or are you going to do the show by yourself?
So anyway, the first verse of the Donna. Oh, I love this. First verse of the Donna Summer song is
All right, get
sort
out
of
of here.
like
I'm not going to
Charlie.
let you do this by yourself. Get out of here.
Hi, I'm Brandy from Oceanside, California. And between the song, the video, and the 10-year anniversary box, this is bound to sell out. It's going to be an actual hit. Kylie fans have been waiting for this. They've been waiting for the return of King Kylie. And let me tell you, they never disappoint. Her YouTube streams already are 200K right after she dropped it. So, I support this move for her. The song is good. It's sultry. It's catchy.
Question. Stop. Question. Which is better, her song or Wood?
Or Wood? Really? I'm
She's like, we're talking about Wood? Really? She's like, really? We're talking about Wood now?
Coming up.
The family of Ellen Greenberg got another autopsy that was performed, and again, it is still ruled a suicide. It just
doesn't make sense.
Physically doesn't make sense. Joining us now, forensic scientist Joseph Scott Morgan. Welcome to TMZ Live.
Be right back.
Well, the family of Ellen Greenberg does not have the answers that they are looking for. This remains an incredibly puzzling case. Ellen Greenberg was found stabbed to death in 2011, but it was ruled a suicide.
We should say early on, 20 stab wounds.
20 stab wounds, several of them
to the back of the head.
To the back of her head and her neck. And it was always puzzling, obviously, to her family that this was ruled a suicide in Philadelphia. So they have been pressing to have this case reopened. And this year, it was reopened. They got another autopsy that was performed. And again, now the results of that autopsy have come back and they say that it is still ruled a suicide. It just
doesn't make sense.
Physically doesn't make sense. And her family is distraught over this, and they believe that this reopening of the case was a sham. That's what their attorney has said.
We should also say that she had a fiance. And the
fiancé
fiance is the one
her.
who discovered her. And, he has never been named a suspect. But initially, this was ruled a homicide. It was changed to a suicide.
Right.
So there are a lot of questions here.
Right. So joining us now, someone who is very familiar with this case, has done a lot of work on this with our friend Nancy Grace, a forensic scientist, Joseph Scott Morgan. He is also a professor of forensics at Jacksonville State University. Joseph Scott Morgan, welcome to TMZ Live.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
So initially, they call it a homicide, changed to a suicide.
Yeah.
And now they supposedly, with the white heat of publicity, look at this case again, and they are holding firm. Are you surprised at this?
Yeah, you could have knocked me over with a feather, as they say. Because we've all been anxiously awaiting, this ruling coming out. We thought that, that science would prevail. And this fell to the current medical examiner to make this determination, and she doubled down on it and concluded that this is, in fact, a suicide. I think many of us are shocked, surprised over this, because none of us really saw this coming. I mean, I don't guess we should be surprised, right? Because, you missed one manner of death there. There's 5. You've got suicide, accidental, you got homicide, you got undetermined, you got natural. They also visited undetermined in this case for a bit. And guys, I got to tell you, I worked for the coroner in New Orleans. I worked for the ME in Atlanta as a senior investigator. Fellas, I have never, in the totality of my career as an academic and also as a practitioner in the field, I've never seen somebody jump to 3 of the different manners. We've only got 5 to choose from. So over the course of all these years, they vacillated between all 3 of these at one point in time or another.
How could they ever have said undetermined when there were so many stab wounds?
Because they don't know if it's suicide, whether it's homicide, so they can't tell that.
Joseph, is it even possible, because I've just seen the diagrams of where the stab wounds were, is it possible for someone to have stabbed themselves that many times? Maybe 1, maybe 2.
Yeah.
But to stab yourself that many times when clearly you would be incapacitated.
It's biomechanically implausible. I've got a fake knife here that we use for crime scenes. And when you think about this knife is going into the body multiple times, and not only on the anterior aspect of the body, but the posterior aspect. Guys, it's almost biomechanically improbable. If everyone at home will just for a moment think about just having a pretend knife, not a real knife, a pretend knife in their hand, and try to extend your hand over your shoulder like this and reach your upper back and also into your neck over and over and over and over again. How many folks out there have ever experienced a paper cut? How painful that is. Just think about that. That pain center fires every single time. And this is going over and over and over again. And there's no indication that she was in some kind of mental state where she would
like psychotic.
She would react in this kind of frenzied manner like this.
So did the Emmy give any justification, explanation for why she thought this was a suicide? I mean, was there any reasoning aside from just concluding it's suicide?
Yeah, it's just conclusion based upon everything else that has occurred in the past.
But help us out. What's the reasoning? I mean, there's got to be something
there was
behind
some flimsy mention of, I deem it flimsy, of her anxiety, that Ellen had anxiety attacks or something like that.
Yeah, and she has been treated for anxiety, and she had been taking medication for that. Fellas, how much of the population has anxiety right now and are currently on medications? I got to tell you, over the course of my career, I've had two cases where you have self-inflicted stab wounds, and one of those was a paranoid schizophrenic guy that thought the CIA had put a microphone in his forearm. That's not really a suicide. He was delusional. The other person stabbed himself twice in the stomach. The idea that someone could do this over and over and over again, and here's the other implausible issue with this. A couple of years later, there was a neuropathologist that took a look at the samples of her brainstem, if you will, the spinal cord coming off of the base of the brain. And her conclusion was that in that particular area where they had identified that the knife had passed through, guys, there was no hemorrhage in that area. No hemorrhage whatsoever. So that leads us scientifically to conclude that this is potentially a post-mortem injury. And no one ever really talks about the other injuries she has on her body. She's got a big focal area of hemorrhage on her neck that when you see the image of it, it actually looks like a pattern. Oh, and not to mention all the resolving bruises that are over multiple surfaces of her body. And when I say resolving, that's kind of the thing that we do in medical legal death investigation when we examine child abuse deaths, because child abuse, people are babies, kids, they're abused over a period of time. And we're trying to assess how long it has been. With each individual insult, she had these in various stages of resolve. I asked the family early on when we were talking about this case, did she have an equilibrium problem? Did she have a drinking problem? Did she have a drug problem? I'm just thinking, is she bumping into furniture? Is she walking into the door? Anything like that could explain these? And they said no, categorically no. She had never had any kind of violent reaction like this.
So explain if you can. Initially, they said this was a homicide, and then it suddenly changes to suicide. That seems like a radical change. Do you know how that came about when they first did that?
No, I don't. I can't, and that's the big head scratcher with this, because they've never gone into great detail. There's never been like a presser, where these people have been asked questions specifically about this. Explain your rationale for this, because we won't understand. And that's one of the best ways to do this, right? You want to clear the decks, you want to get the information out there and explain the scientific methodology that you arrived at this conclusion with. And I'm not saying that it would satisfy everybody, but it would certainly give people a bit more understanding, because this is, in fact, a complex case. All right, we have to think about that. The position of her body, how she was found. There's the infamous, what's referred to as the gravitational flow of blood here, where she's sitting kind of in a posture like this, and she's got blood that is issuing from her face and it's streaking back toward her ear. That is gravitationally implausible. That means that she had to be laying on her back at some point in time for blood to have traveled back toward the posterior of her head. She's sitting in a kind of a seated, quasi-seated position, and blood is streaking back toward her ear. That's one of those things that, again, question after question after question, and there are no solid answers.
This makes no sense. It makes no sense.
When there's a ruling in a court, there's usually a higher court you can go to try and get relief. That doesn't exist in forensics.
No, it doesn't, and that's the real tragedy here, because look, the Greenbergs. These people have literally mortgaged their house, guys, just to keep their daughter's memory alive, because this has been such a fight, such an incredible fight that they've been in all of these years. This is their only child. They've wanted to keep the case alive. Who else are you going to appeal it to? This is not a judicial decision. This is a medical legal decision.
It's crazy.
Yeah. There is an interesting civil option here, but that's problematic as well. Hank, we really appreciate you coming on.
Joseph, thank you so much.
As my mom would
pleasure.
say, something's not kosher here.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
All right. By the way, we should tell you guys that if you want to hear more from Joseph on this case and others, he has a podcast called Body Bags. You can check that out.
Coming up.
Katy Perry's engaged.
Okay, that's definitely jumping the gun. But some folks at her concert in London might have thought that's what she was inferring when a fan decided to propose to her.
Be right back.
TMZ's got every freaking thing. Big celebs, big stories, big events.
BB Rexa was looking hot on vacation.
Look at the water, too. Did you just say look at the water?
I mean, I'll be honest, that is what I was looking at.
TMZ.
Katy Perry's engaged.
Okay, that's definitely jumping the gun. But some folks at her concert in London last night might have thought that's what she was inferring when a fan decided to propose to her. Watch this, listen to Katy's response, and keep in mind that we just saw her in a pretty loved up embrace with Justin Trudeau.
Grabbing her butt.
Yes, so this is what happened last night in London.
Oh, I heard you were single.
You heard I was single. Okay, that's interesting. Katy Perry, will you marry me? I couldn't read that high up. Are you kidding me? Not today! You know, you really should have asked me about 48 hours ago.
You really should have asked me about 48 hours ago.
So let's say Monday night, 48 hours.
After
before
Justin
the weekend.
Trudeau was on the boat with
48
her.
hours would have been before.
No. There was shot this.
Oh, that's right.
No,
the photos were before.
The photos we just posted, a
Wait
couple
a
days
second.
ago, but the photos were actually from the end of September.
Right, September 29th, I think.
So
Yes.
a lot of people are like,
Wait a
what is
second.
she referring to 48 hours ago? It almost sounds like something happened.
She's a
Maybe
rebound
Justin
chick. He's a
proposed?
rebound guy. They're both. He's got divorced. She broke up with Orlando.
Yep, her and Orlando split up.
You know what happens after two people are in a long-term relationship and they split up? They
move
marry the
fast.
next person.
Yes.
They marry the next person.
I mean, it's
doesn't
definitely
always
possible,
happen,
and that's a theory. Also, this guy doesn't seem to be like a true Katy Perry fan. How does he not know that she's clearly seeing Justin Trudeau?
People see what they want to see.
But
Yeah.
that it's an interesting comment. You should have asked me 48 hours ago. Why did she say that? Because she made the joke already with the guy up in the bleachers.
calendar
so
here.
why September 29th and
September
now
29th.
Is it possible that maybe they made her and Justin made
going
it
on 3 weeks ago.
official 2
October
days ago?
10th.
2 weeks ago? Huh?
Maybe her and Justin made it official 2 days ago, like officially together.
Like just they
Yeah.
personally said
Like
to
they're
each other,
exclusive.
"We're now
Let me
exclusive."
just say.
Because that would have
When
been
you go back to the picture, please, on the boat.
that would have been 12 days after.
Let me just say.
the yacht.
Oh,
Can
yeah.
you go a little closer on that shot? Yeah.
boy.
I think they were official on September 29th. Okay. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, okay.
And and it still doesn't explain why he's wearing jeans on a boat. But
Harvey.
That's what that fan really should have asked her.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Hi, my name is Adriana from Chicago, and I believe Katy went from not being able to be single to not being able to not be married. So whatever happened 48 hours before that concert, I definitely think she's planning a wedding in her head regardless. So that's why she said that.
Oh, maybe
She-
she thinks of them as being exclusive.
Yeah. And I
We
think
don't
it's
know
got
what
roll
Justin
with it.
thinks.
Does he? Oh no, I have a question for you. Does he move to Santa Barbara or does she move to Montreal?
I believe she would move to Montreal.
I believe
sure.
he would move to Santa
Really?
Barbara.
Yeah, because she has
the weather's
younger,
better,
and she has younger kids.
and she has
Yeah,
younger
does have
kids. Right.
Coming up.
Well, this is going to raise a lot of eyebrows. Jennifer Aniston was incredibly open and honest, maybe even vulnerable, in a discussion that she had on the Armchair Expert podcast with Dak Shepard, where they were talking about fertility.
Be right back.
Well, this is going to raise a lot of eyebrows. Jennifer Aniston was incredibly open and honest, maybe even vulnerable, in a discussion that she had on the Armchair Expert podcast with Dak Shepard, where they were talking about fertility and the possibility of maybe freezing eggs or, basically, are you going to have kids, Jennifer? And this is what she had to say.
I will say, there's a point where it's like, it's out of my control.
Yes.
There's literally nothing I can do about it. When people say, but you can adopt. I don't want to adopt.
Yeah.
I want my own DNA in a little person.
Yes.
That's the only way, I'm selfish or not, whatever that is.
Yeah.
I wanted it. But is there the moments of, well, this goes around into it's probably a topic I don't really want to discuss. But when you meet someone and you go, God, we would have made some good kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
So that might come up, and then that'll pass within 3 seconds.
So, I
Very honest.
I want to say something about it.
Very
so, a lot
honest.
of people are going to say this is terrible, that you shouldn't feel that way, but she does. And she's being frank about it. And I get, too, that on a level it's hurtful. Maybe
I don't think it is hurtful.
Oh, yeah,
but I
to a
think
kid who's
people-
adopted, you hear that and you think,
But she's not saying, and I agree with you, that is how some people will take it.
Right.
That this is a bad thing, that you're not promoting adoption. But she's not saying adoption isn't right for other people. She's just being honest about her personal choice. Now, some people may say that that's selfish. Some people may label it that.
Let me try this on you. Go back in your time machine to 2017. Would she be dragged more then than now?
I don't know.
I think yes,
Don't you
because
think
that's
this
what was going on.
I think this is a jab at Angelina Jolie.
No, come on. Okay, you will find shade.
Wait.
Now he's on board. He's fully on board now. Here we go.
They both were married to the same guy.
Right.
And he left Jennifer Aniston
Right.
and adopted a bunch of kids with Angelina Jolie.
That's
and
right.
then went on to have a few of his own with her, but at first
So
he
maybe
jumped
her
ship
view
for
of adoption is colored by her experience.
No.
Wait.
No.
Wait.
Please
You
take the
totally
woman
changed-
at her
you
word.
totally
And
changed my mind.
No.
You totally
Take
changed
the
my
woman
mind.
at her word. She said, I want my DNA. So for her, having a child is about passing on your lineage.
I understand that, but
That's-
maybe
and
she
that's
did.
it.
But
And that's it.
No,
It's
it's
not
not.
a shot.
Maybe she didn't feel that
Oh
way
my God. Why are we
before
trying to
Brad
create a-
left her. I never thought of that. You connected the dots. What a point. Wow. I would give you a raise if I wasn't so cheap.
You are cheap.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kamara from Atlanta. And you know what? I think Jennifer Aniston, she is feeling what a lot of successful women are feeling right now. She's got the house, the career, and the money. But that really doesn't make her complete. So I applaud her for saying, listen, I want a child with my own DNA. But this is also, I think, a little nugget for people on the outside. When you see a woman who is probably over 40 and 50 with no kids, maybe that's not the best question to ask them, but I still think that there's hope for Jennifer. You know, we've seen women get pregnant in their 60s and 70s. It can happen. So I'm just wishing her the best.
Okay, I don't know about 60s and 70s, but I mean, look, she can
That can
certainly
happen.
Of course, it can. It's not generally very healthy.
She seems to be saying no. That's not going to happen.
Would she, though? The other option for her is to have a surrogate, right? She can, if she has frozen her eggs, she could use a surrogate.
Gee, you should probably email her.
Well, the music world is mourning the loss of an absolute icon at an incredibly young age. D'Angelo passed away this morning. We broke a story this morning about the fact that he died in New York City and had been battling pancreatic cancer, and very privately. But there are some signs now that we know this, that he had been going through this most of this year at the very least. But yes, D'Angelo, Grammy winner, has won, four Grammys. But was nominated
like 14 times.
Yeah. Incredible music starting from the mid-90s.
You saw him?
I saw him once live, and that was with Dave Chappelle at the Hollywood Bowl. But the video that everyone remembers, especially depending on your age, actually, pretty much at any age, everyone remembers the untitled How Does It Feel video, because he at least appeared to be fully nude. It was one of those
illusions. It was one of those illusions,
but it got a lot of people talking when that came out. But his music this was a guy who was openly so, and it's clear in his music.
Had not recorded in a long time.
Yeah, God, I think his last album was early 2000s,
yeah,
something like that. But he was influenced by James Brown, Prince, Jimi Hendrix, and you could hear it in his music, and it was.
And he also worked with a lot of icons: Erykah Badu, Lauryn Hill, his ex-girlfriend and the mother of his child, Angie Stone,
which is really sad. They have a son together, and Angie Stone, of course, died early this.
Son?
The son is probably
27.
27.
Right.
But Angie Stone herself died in a car accident earlier this year.
Which is just crazy to think that this now person and son has to go through life without mother and father. But it's just so crazy that we hadn't heard from D'Angelo in a long time. I mean, we didn't know that he was sick or that he was battling this pancreatic cancer. He kept it to himself, and
he was supposed to perform at the Roots picnic this summer in Philadelphia, and he canceled. And they had said at the time, just for an unforeseen medical reason.
And I don't think anyone thought anything of it,
right,
because, he's not a young person, but he's not old enough to where
right,
anyone would think like, oh, he's going to be, not making it, or we're going to be sitting here talking about him dying a few months later. So just a super tragic and just, super sad story to just come out off the random, because you just didn't see it coming.
He also was not at Angie's funeral, and we've been told by people connected to the family.
That was almost a year ago, wasn't it?
No, that was in March.
It was like, earlier this year,
Yeah, and
so
we were told that
he's been sick most of this
year.
year.
He was getting the reason he wasn't at her funeral is he was getting treatment, but we didn't know what it was about at the time.
Right.
Hello, Mark, Los Angeles. First of all, rest in power to a GOAT in our community. I mean, like you said, we lost Angie earlier this year, so, I'm praying for the children. I'm always intrigued when Black people die young. It's just ridiculous. So much I want to say, but I wish to use this time to encourage us and our young loved ones to prioritize mental and physical health, because without it, nothing else matters,
Your physical health,
truth,
man.
Boy, it changes your life.
Coming up.
Keith Urban's tour just got a little interesting. I think a lot of fans are going to maybe be going to his show expecting to see a certain someone on stage with him. That would be
Maggie?
Maggie Ball. If you're going to his tour expecting to see Maggie, you're not.
Be right back.
Keith Urban's tour just got a little interesting. I think a lot of fans are going to maybe be going to his show expecting to see a certain someone on stage with him. That would be
Maggie?
Maggie Ball, the woman who had played a couple of shows with him, and who, because of the timing of when those shows were, and when we broke the story about Keith and Nicole first splitting up, that they were separated, and then very quickly they were finalized their divorce.
It wasn't just timing; it was changing lyrics to
because
a Nicole
Maggie was
song.
on stage, and he changed one of the songs and referenced her. So, if you're going to his tour expecting to see Maggie, you're not. She will not be performing with him on tour. which I know fans are going to go, well, of course she's not going to go because that's who people
conspiracies,
think
theories
that he's actually in a new relationship with.
But it is interesting he's not with her, because the other way of playing this is put her on stage every night.
It would be a great opportunity for her and probably one she wants, but it's not going to happen. I spoke to a source this morning that said, look, she's not part of
Someone
the band.
connected to his tour.
But how much did she perform before all of this?
She has played a couple times in the past, last year and twice this year. She filled in once in Chicago when one of his mainstays, Natalie, was under the weather, I believe, and then for one private performance in Vegas.
Oh, so it's not a lot.
Right.
It's not a lot.
But it was just because people were looking at those videos when we broke the story about Nicole and Keith breaking up. They thought, oh, this is definitely the woman.
Right.
So,
but she's really
I know
good.
that they're saying
she is. Well, what's interesting though is that like she's kind of leaning into it.
Well, she did. She dropped a song, right?
She did. Well, she said she had a big announcement coming before she addressed anything else. Obviously,
that's why why he doesn't want her on now.
Oh, what's going
He thinks
on
that
here?
She's too opportunist.
Drops a new album.
I respect that.
She should drop it.
Why
She's
not?
got music.
I'm not saying that
When
it wasn't
people have
brilliant
eyes
marketing.
on her,
yeah, if you're behind
she didn't
her,
do anything.
She didn't. It was brilliant marketing, but she's not going to be seen with him anytime soon, from what I hear.
Not on stage.
Not on stage.
Hi, Letitia in Dallas. I believe this is a great deal. It's a calculated coincidence that she won't be in the Nashville shows. She has her man. Why go ahead and fuel those rumors?
Well,
Go
wait,
ahead, girl,
wait.
get
Hold your horses.
You just said it like a fact.
Hold your
Letitia, like,
horses. You
she's
can't
got
say
her
she's
man.
got her man.
What?
You can't do that. You can't do that.
Okay, potentially has her man. All she has to do
Potentially,
is
allegedly, possibly.
allegedly, and all she has to do now, she's 25, is play the waiting game. Wait for the tour to be over. Wait for the divorce to be final, and they can go off and make beautiful music together.
Well, they're already making beautiful music, right?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, what kind of, are you talking about music on stage?
Of course I am.
Yeah.
Coming up.
In the words of the legend, Alec, you got some splaining to do. At least that's what it seems he was doing with his wife, Hilaria, because Alec got into a car accident yesterday. What you need to know is that Range Rover, it's Hilaria's. And that's why he had to explain.
Be right back.
In the words of the legend, Alec, you got some splaining to do. At least that's what it seems he was doing with his wife, Hilaria, because Alec got into a car accident yesterday. And we'll get to his explanation in just a moment. But Alec and his brother, Steven, got into a car accident out in the Hamptons. And when you see the images, you're like, it's amazing that they are both
car versus tree
safe, but smashed the Range Rover right into this tree. Now, Alec says his version of it is that there was a garbage truck that cut him off.
We actually have sound from Alec, so he kind of gives us
There
the
is,
lowdown.
He does, but that what you need to know is that Range Rover, it's Hilaria's. And that's why he had to explain.
This morning I was in this car accident. Guy cut me off in a truck, big garbage truck. I mean, a garbage truck the size of a whale. I've never seen a garbage truck. It must have been something commercial for like taking away material from construction or something. It was the biggest garbage truck I've ever seen. Anyway, I won't go into the details now and bore you, but to avoid hitting him, I hit a tree. I hit a big fat tree and crushed my car, my wife's car. I crushed my wife's car. I feel bad about that, but it's all fine, and I'm fine, and my brother's fine.
Why was it so bad that it's his wife's car? It's like, it's their car. Like, they have a car.
Well, but
you
also,
should just be happy that they're safe.
I mean, is there a compact garbage truck out there?
No, I saw the
I wanna
garbage.
see- by the
You
way,
see the
is there a
garbage.
photo of the garbage
yeah,
truck?
you see it. It's a normal garbage truck. I don't understand why he was calling it a whale.
Enormous.
What is he talking about?
He says it was the size of a whale.
Where's the truck?
I saw
it's
it on the
right.
other.
Yeah,
you see it in the beginning. It's a normal garbage truck.
It's a normal garbage truck.
But luckily, no one injured. Everyone was cleared in this. The cops said it's just an
Did
accident.
the airbags go off? Do we know?
I don't. Yeah, I think they did.
It
But
looks like.
they basically
Yeah,
said
they
it was the slippery road conditions and Alec trying to avoid the garbage truck the size of a whale. But
anybody get ticketed?
No one got ticketed. Everyone's good. The other thing about the video that a lot of people were talking about is his smoke alarm, like kept beeping during the whole video. He has to change the battery.
Yeah, change the battery.
Like change the battery on that smoke detector.
You ruined your wife's car. Don't ruin the house.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Erica, and I'm from Michigan, and I just feel bad for Alec Baldwin. I'm happy that him and his brother Stephen is okay, but it just seems like something unfortunate is always going on with him, from this situation to the situation in 2021 with the tragic film tragedy. I just feel for him, and I hope everything works out for him, because this is just a crazy situation.
God, poor Hilaria. She gets booted from Dancing with the Stars, and now her Range Rover.
And now her Range Rover.
Woo.
I think that's why he wanted to shout her out.
Yeah. What else do you guys want to talk about?
Hi, this is Latoya, aka Kitty from Philly, and I'm talking about the Trump Time cover photo. I definitely have to agree with Trump. They definitely did him dirty this time. I know for a fact that they are known for prestigious photography, but he was on point this time. They definitely did him dirty.
But don't you think it put eyeballs on the story, which actually benefits Trump because he even thought the story was fair? I'll take that. I'll take that as a yes.
I was focused on the photo, and honestly, I didn't read.
We're overlooking the bigger story here. Is your name Latoya or Katie?
What do you mean, AKA Katie?
So my family calls me Kitty. My first name is Latoya. Yes.
But they just randomly decided to call you Katie?
Kitty, like a kitty cat.
Oh,
yes,
Kitty.
my mother nicknamed me Kitty. Yes.
But here's the thing.
Well, that's
here's the problem. Anybody who watches this, who knows you, is now going to be triggered into calling you Kitty. You should have just said Latoya.
It's fine. My government name is Latoya, but Kitty is fine.
Okay.
All right, we'll call you Kitty.
One more.
I'm Josh from Long Island, and I'm talking about Katy Perry. I think we need more fun, completely random celebrity couples like Katy Perry and Justin Trudeau. But the two of them as a couple actually makes some level of sense to me. They are both parents. Katy has been interested in politics for years. And respectfully, they can bond over both having experienced very public drops in popularity after having been universally loved before. So even though it's a little absurd, I like it.
That last one does make sense.
That is rough, but it does make some sense, I gotta say.
Coming up.
You gotta feel for Cheryl Hines a little bit, right? This happens in a lot of couples.
You can say that on several fronts.
On several fronts, because, of course, the Make America Healthy Again movement. Well, what does that mean for Cheryl Hines at home? She actually revealed her secret snacking.
Be right back.
You gotta feel for Cheryl Hines a little bit, right? This happens in a lot of couples. We're not talking anything political here, although I guess it's somewhat related to her husband's job.
Directly
related to his job. Because, of course, the Make America Healthy Again movement that RFK Jr. is spearheading. Well, what does that mean for Cheryl Hines at home? She actually revealed her secret snacking when she was on Jesse Waters' show last night.
Are you as maha as your husband, Bobby?
I'm going to say yes.
Yes.
Although, I might eat things that he might not.
Oh, do you get in trouble when you eat unhealthy?
I don't get in trouble, but I hide when I eat it because I don't feel good about myself. So if I want potato chips, I'll, stand in the pantry when nobody's looking.
All she has to do is say, Bobby, remember Air Force One with the Big Mac and the fries?
Yeah, she should just have the photo ready. Just be like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good for the goose, good for the gander. See you tomorrow.